Hello, family and friends. Another session with Coffee with Cody. As promised, today we're going to talk a little bit about health. In particular, my health, and in some cases, your health. Before we get started, I got a few shout outs. First of all, the biggest shout out I'm going to give is to my daughter. Without her love and devotion and help, I don't know that I would still be here. In fact, I know I wouldn't. Shout out to you, those of you that have subscribed, our viewers, friends, family. I hope you're enjoying this. This comes on the week of a rebound from that surgery that I had for some hernias in my stomach. No fun. Beyond the shout outs, I want to give you a number one disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, and I don't pretend to be, and I'm not on TV. So let's see where this heads. With my health, first of all, we'll talk a little bit about my history, and then maybe some of the things that I've learned over the course of time. Some of the things that maybe I can recommend for you to help you in your health journey. Again, not a doctor, just giving you my 2 cents. My health journey started, actually, when I talk about health journey, I'm talking about mostly negative stuff, things that have happened to me. When I was young, about 4 years old, I had what they called infant rheumatoid arthritis. I couldn't walk. I can remember vividly my folks carrying me around the carnival during rodeo times. I can also remember getting blood drawn out of me once a week for, quite a few months. It wasn't any fun, but I was able to overcome that. I still have some bouts with arthritis, as anybody does that grows old. Moving on, the next thing that I can remember, if you recall, I talked about standing on those milk crates, putting the laundry up out in the country. Well, one of those times I slipped on the milk crate, and they were metal, and I caught the bottom of my mouth on the edge and opened up a big old gap. And that was my first journey with anesthesia. That was the only time in all of the times that I've had anesthesia that it didn't go so well. I can remember waking up vividly, vomiting. It was no fun. But those were the first 2 memories I have involving my health. Continuing on, I can tell you that really not too many broken bones in my body. When I was in high school, my senior year, I got my ankle caught, twisted, sprained, what I thought was at the time just a sprain, in our first game of the season against Hardin. And it was painful. And for the rest of the season, Gene Nelson would pad my left ankle with probably a 2 or 3 inch piece of foam padding and tape it up with, 2 or 3 rolls of tape. So I played my whole senior season like that, and I didn't find out until I was in intramural basketball when I twisted my ankle and sprained it real bad. They did an x-ray and found out that I had 3 small hairline fractures. So I played that whole football season on a fractured ankle. I guess I tolerated the pain. I've always had a pretty good high tolerance for pain. Not too many times have I ever needed extra strength aspirin, or definitely stayed away from the painkillers. As far as moving down the course, I was diagnosed with diabetes in 1995, and that's the next major, I would say, event in my life. Now, most of you grow up probably hearing about diabetes, cancer, heart disease, heart attack. Those are some of the common ailments that most Americans are aware of. Hopefully you'll never have to encounter them. But health is based on statistics. Now, I would say in my case, a lot of my health is related to, I would say three things. First of all, you have to take into consideration genetics. In my family, the history reveals that we have diabetes in our family. On my mother's side, my mom's grandma, it would be my great-grandma, died from diabetes. My grandfather, my mom's father, passed away from cancer. And of course, most of you know that my dad died at a very early age of 45 of a heart attack. So those were three things and three strikes that were already against me. You can do what you can about trying to stay as healthy as you can. And I would recommend that you pay attention to that. For many years, the health that I had was not important to me. Certainly the diabetes took me by surprise in '95, but I didn't do a very good job of taking care of it. I felt good, I felt healthy, didn't feel the need. Well, now I'm paying for the sins of my youth and some stupidity. Diabetes has taken a toll with my mobility issues. Certainly, you can look at my mouth and teeth aren't too good. That comes as a result of diabetes. Then in 1995, I was diagnosed with that. In 2000, I experienced some trouble with my stomach. And my brother Terry said, you better go get a colonoscopy. He was going to have one. He said, well, we're getting that age, we better have one. And of course, we know that Grandpa DiGirolamo passed away from colon cancer in his 50s. So we already had that strike against us. So with Terry's suggestion, I went ahead and scheduled a colonoscopy with Dr. Z. Went in and got my colonoscopy done. Lo and behold, polyps. There was, I don't remember how many at the time, but they did find some cancerous polyps. There was some that were laying flat against the wall in my colon that Dr. Z couldn't get, so he sent me to his own doctor that does his colonoscopies, or at the time, in Billings. So down there I went. They had done a biopsy on those polyps, and it had definitely revealed some precancerous and possibly even cancer. So I went down, had another colonoscopy there. They pulled out that polyp that was against my wall, and lo and behold, it was cancerous. And the only way they were going to find out how substantial it was to do some surgery. So right away, that was September, my birthday in 2000, they said, we're going to operate on you. And I didn't give them a chance. Anytime you hear that big C word, cancer, it puts a fear in you. It's not an easy thing to deal with. But if you have a strong faith in God, all things are possible, as I told you last week. Now, once they got in there, they ended up taking about a foot of my colon out. They did what's called a resection. And I was about a little over 2 or 3 inches from my anus from getting a colonoscopy bag for the rest of my life. The Lord was looking out for me there. We got the cancer stopped. It had not gone through the colon wall. It was stage 1, no chemo, no radiation. So I was very, very fortunate in that situation. But what it has done for me is it's given me the wonderful pleasure of having colonoscopies now on a regular scheduled basis at least 2 or 3 years at a time, depending on the number of polyps I have. And the last doctor that I talked to called me a polyp farmer because they went in and they found 25 polyps in me. More than any human should have, absolutely. But I continue to produce polyps, so I continue to have colonoscopies. Well, with this one, the colonoscopy, they found one again flat against my colon wall that was about 40 millimeters long. Now, I'm not going to tell you how long 40 millimeters is, but you can get a ruler out and look at it. It's substantial. So they went in and scraped that out, and I've got some staples in my colon now. But thankfully, no cancer. That's the main thing. We need to stop the cancer where it's at whenever we can. And I will tell you this. Follow doctor's orders. The older you get, the harder it is. And after that surgery I just had for the hernias, I can tell you this. Major surgery at 70 years old is no joke. Not fun at all. My recovery process has been slow because I've taken better care of my health. I've been able to recover a little better. I'm still sore in places. I still have some doctor appointments to follow up, and we'll continue down that journey. Following the initial cancer and colonoscopy in the year 2008, I had some terrible indigestion. I had just eaten some cucumbers, and don't let that stop you. I know cucumbers can give you indigestion and heartburn, but let your body tell you what happens. Your body is pretty smart. It can tell you when you're not feeling good, when something's wrong. So please get into a doctor. If I have any better advice for you, as you get older, if you want to stay healthier and live longer and being around for those 5-year-old grandchildren, you'll take care of yourself way better than I did. Because I certainly abused myself when I was younger. And I regret it, but, life is what it is. And now I just do what I can every day to be as healthy as I can. It's not as I do, but as I say, but in most cases, I've tried to exercise a little more, tried to walk a little more, for sure have taken better care of my diet, eating way healthier foods with vegetables and fruits than I ever did in the past. So be aware. And, nowadays, we're very fortunate that we have the technology that we do and the information. And medicine just keeps continuing to advance and get better and better. And if you just go with the flow and be consistent with it, you can take care of yourself. But before I go any further, I will tell you this, that no matter what happens in life, it's the power above that controls everything that we are and what we will have happen to us. So we just do our part the best we can, and the Lord's got his part, and we'll take it as it comes. After I had the indigestion, I was headed up to the hospital, and I called my wife at the time and said, look, I don't feel well. I'm headed up to the hospital. I've got indigestion. Well, on the way up, I let out some big burps, and then I started feeling good, and I just about turned around. But she said, no, you hurt bad enough, you better get up there. So lo and behold, I get up there. My blood pressure's off the charts, and I ended up being in overnight. They monitored me, and in the morning, I was on a life flight to Billings with a heart attack. So we experienced that. That again was on my birthday. Seems like everything happens to me on my birthday, but more recently it's been in the springtime and midwinter. But anyway, we took care of that. They did a CABG procedure, which is a cardiac bypass graft, and stripped my left leg of a vein from the ankle to the crotch, and diced it up in about 8 pieces, and I had 8 bypasses in my heart. So I'm functioning on a heart that's been reprogrammed, I guess. I continue to go to the cardiologist and get that checked up. Everything's looking good. I've had some struggles with that as my health has gotten worse the older I get. But again, we're fighting diabetes, we're fighting cancer, and we're fighting heart disease. So with all of that comes minor problems, and in my case, some major problems. The next major one that I encountered was in January of last year. I'd been battling a foot that I'd been going to a podiatrist to take care of my feet for me, but she clipped one of my corns, and it got infected in January. And man, I'll tell you what, diabetes is no joke. Neuropathy is no joke. That toe turned black. I went into the hospital. I could see that there were red streaks running up down my leg, and that meant something serious. So we got in there into the emergency room, and yes, there was a major infection. They pumped me full of this strong antibiotic called vancomycin. You want to Google that one because that's about as strong as you can get. They gave me about 5 days dosage of that. And in the meantime, vancomycin affects other parts of your body, and in my case, it affected my kidneys. And I was within maybe 1 or 2 days of ended up being in dialysis. My kidney numbers failed and rose high. Eventually, we were able to get that under control. But with kidney failure and some of the issues there, that puts water weight on you. Well, water weight affects your heart, believe it or not. And I ended up having heart failure with congestion. And so we had to monitor that. So not only am I battling an infected toe and trying to save that, I am battling a kidney failing and a heart that has water all around it. And I was in the hospital 3 times last year around January, February, and March for the variety of issues involving that toe. I eventually had to lose the toe. Maybe I'll show you a picture of it. Maybe I won't. I'll spare you the agony of that. But anyway, lost the toe, finally got the kidneys under control, finally got the congestive heart failure under control. Thank God my daughter called. They had brought me from Nebraska to Colorado, and because she was tied into the medical field here and knew doctors that she trusted, she was going to make sure that she took care of my health condition there rather than leave me in Scottsbluff by myself. So I come down after a 3-hour trip. I couldn't breathe. I was as close to death as I thought I'd ever be. All of a sudden, I lost oxygen. For those of you in the medical field, your oxygen is supposed to be in the normal range of 90 and above. Well, mine was down in the low 70s. And I just could not gasp for enough air. So she called the ambulance, and they get me in there and end up putting me on 15 liters of oxygen, which is almost the max. Had the tanks open wide and rushed me to the hospital. Well, short story here, then eventually I lose the foot. We are back on the vancomycin. Kidneys are being monitored very strongly because of the previous history. They start to go, I end up with anemia in my blood. Excuse me. And so I ended up with some blood transfusions. We finally get that under control. So now we've got foot doctors, we've got heart doctors, we've got kidney doctors, we got lung doctors, pulmonologists, certainly colonoscopy and internists. So it's been an ongoing struggle. I'm very fortunate and thankful to be where I'm at. Again, a big shout out to my daughter for all that she's done for me and all of her friends in the medical field that have, because they love her, they love me. And I appreciate that greatly. You know who you are out there. Can't thank you enough. Continued love and support and prayers. Keep me on this path. Well, this spring then, had another bout of infection in my leg, going up my leg. Back into the hospital we go. We finally look at that. They're talking about maybe taking my big toe this time. And I said, no, we're not going to do that. There's got to be some other way. Well, what they ended up doing is they did a angioplasty on the artery in my left leg, which is where my bad foot is. And it opened up and got some more blood flow down there. Got the wounds that were created from my lost toe, from the way that you walk after you are missing a foot or a toe or any digit for that matter. You do things differently. Well, it created some pressure points and some wounds that we've been working on. We finally get the blood flow down there and things start to turn around. And as they turn around, slowly the infection leaves. We continue to get better with the wounds. I just went to the wound doctor yesterday, and we're about 1 day away or 1 week away from getting out of bandages for that. So thank you, Michelle Young, for that. And thank you for my primary care doctor, Dr. Kelly Johnson. You two have been spectacular. So I will give you both shouts out for all that you've done for me over the past year and a half. With that then, the last thing that I want to talk about is that surgery that I had. From my colon cancer surgery in 2000, there were spots in my scar tissue that had opened up and created hernias where my small intestines were falling out, and I had a big bulge in my stomach. Looked like I had an extra baby on there. I had a baby on board. Well, I had made a decision that I was going to go get that taken care of, not because it hurt. It was just an aesthetic thing. Didn't look very nice. So I made appointments to take care of that. I made an appointment to follow up with my colonoscopy doctor to check the site where he pulled that 40 millimeter polyp off of my colon wall. And then I also made an appointment with a dentist. I promised my daughter that maybe I'll get my teeth fixed before we call it the end of days. So there's been my journey as far as health goes. Still hanging tough. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I will say this. Listen to people when they tell you. Don't think you know it all. Let your body talk to you. If it says something's wrong, get it taken care of. If you want to be around for a while and see grandchildren and, grow a little bit older, do what you can. Take care of yourself. Get into a routine. Basically, that's what it is. A little routine of any kind of movement. Don't be a couch potato. Get up and move, even if it's a short walk up and down the hall, which I do right here in my apartment in this complex. I have a little floor bike that I pedal. I have 5-pound barbells that I pump. You can get on the internet and find a good workout program with yoga, stretches, and various things. So please take care of yourself. Oh, excuse me. A week ago I wouldn't be able to do that because my stomach would have hurt so bad. But now, much better. I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm grateful, ever so grateful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the people that have prayed for me, and I'll continue heading down this path to getting better and doing what I need to do to take care of myself and hopefully I will live as many days as God will give me. And with that, this is Coffee with Cody signing out.